What is going on, everybody? It's your boy the SLAPTrain. Welcome back to another NHL Hockey Ultimate Team. We are 5-1-0 at the moment, and today we're going to be showing you guys a gameplay where the guy that we're going to be facing is actually pretty damn good. And I talked yesterday about playing with a team that's not overall the greatest in numbers. Now, the game that you're going to be watching at the moment, the guy that I'm playing against is very good. And he has a very good team. He has a lot of all-stars on there, and I think he actually has a legend as well too, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the way that I play my Hockey Ultimate Team, I've been playing NHL now for quite a few years. As I said, I've been playing since 07 non-stop. Every year I've got the game from day one. You know, I've been playing it every single year. Over 300 plus games per game, or per year. Now, when you play that many games and you've played so many times, you get a feel for players. You get a feel for how they shoot, you know, what they're good, what they're bad at. And if you have that knowledge of of at least your players, knowing your attributes without having to, you know, write them down or check them out, that is a major advantage. Now, the reason being, you know guys that aren't as good on paper, but they play better on the ice. Now, for instance, Antropov. You know, Antropov is not a high-priced card by any sense. I picked him up for like, I think, 800 pucks, and he is one of my best players. Now, with saying that, I've been playing with Antropov on the Maple Leafs for quite a few years. I know his skills. I know what he's good at. I know what he's not good at. And that is an amazing I guess knowledge base to have, because you can be purchasing guys that aren't expensive and stay away from those high priced cards without having to break your bank. Now, for instance, Ryan Smith as well too. I picked him up pretty dirt cheap, and he is a hell of a hockey player no matter what his numbers are at. I don't care if his shot's at 76. I'm going to snipe with him because I feel confident. And having a confidence going into games with your lineup is huge. If you're going into a game not really knowing, you know, what they're good at, what they're bad at, you can break down a team very quick. Now, I say this from experience because this is not my first year in Hockey Ultimate Team. I played Hockey Ultimate Team now for this is my third year now, and I've played with guys that have been great, and I've played with guys that have not really been the greatest. Now, my actual apologies. The game that you just watched was a game where I made the guy quit out pretty quick. We are now 6-1-0, and the next game that you're going to be watching is the game where the gentleman that we're going to be facing is actually pretty damn good. Now, back to my past experiences with Hut. Now, as I said, I've played with guys that have been overall superstars. You know, I've had like Datsuk, I've had Kovalchuk, Tavares, I've had Patrick Kane. I've had the whole slew of players on my team, and when you get a really good team like that, it is very hard for someone to beat you, and it comes down to really nothing but a chess match. I'd like to think of NHL as a chess match because really it is. I mean, you have so many things that you have to think about as you're playing, and really when you get guys that know what they're doing, it comes down to a game of chess, and that's the way I think of it. But when you're playing with a team that's not as strong as someone else's team, it really comes down to puck possession and making them play your game. Now, as I said, the actual guys I'm going to be playing right now, he's got Carey Price in net. He's got a few very superstar guys, and as well too, I believe he has a legend card. Now, with all that being said, you would think, you know, on paper I would get destroyed, but that's not really the case, because as I said, I know my players, I know what they're good at, I know what they're bad at. Now, as well too, if you guys look at his wins, he has over 112 wins on that goaltender. Now, that's him alone. That's not overall with anybody else. So, as I said, this guy is very good, but it really comes down to just playing your game and playing it smart. Now, right away, I take a quick lead. Antropov buries the opposite corner. Goalie takes a nice little flop. It's a little cheesy, but I will take it nonetheless. But as I said, Antropov has been playing great. He is a sharpshooter. I know where to pick corners with him, but it comes down to overall feel with the guys. And if you feel comfortable and if you feel confident with your team, you're going to be doing big things. Now, obviously, it comes down to you can't be running with a full AHL squad or anything like that. You need to have players that are kind of a superstar style, but not getting paid for that, I guess, type of role. Now, as I said, Ryan Smith, amazing guy. You just seen him snipe a G on Carey Price. Amazing player, amazing talent, and he's dirt cheap. So there's a lot of cards out there that I personally love playing with that are dirt cheap. Other people may call them terrible cards, and that's completely fine. But for me, that's the way I play it. We got a little scrum going on. Phaneuf, obviously, he takes me down big. As I said, he's got a solid squad. Dion Phaneuf is not a cheap player by any means. Look at Kovalchuk. He's got Gretzky. He's got anybody and everybody that you can think of on this team. So for me, going up 2 goals right now is big. Now, we did take a penalty, so we are shorthanded at the moment, and he's going to capitalize with that. He's going to bury a G, and as I said, it's very easy when you have an amazing squad as the way as he does. He has Kadri. Obviously, he's not the greatest, but he must know the way that he plays, and that's where the strengths come from. So, really, as I said, if you guys don't really have a lot of money to spend on a solid team, you can probably get away with making a team from start to finish, I'd say, for about 9 to 10,000 pucks. A solid team. Now, I'm talking from forwards to defense, all 4 lines, and 2 goaltenders, 10K. It would be a little bit sketchy, but I think it can be done. But yeah, I mean, it really oh my God, yo, that was a bullshit goal. That was one of them that I was really disappointed about, and that was just pure luck. And that's really, I mean, again, it's what NHL is about. Ebrake, he goes for a pass, and essentially it just goes right off of Turco's foot. Now, not the prettiest of goals. It's not going to be the prettiest. It's not going to be the worst goal that I've ever seen. But, I mean, stuff like that happens. You've been playing the game for so many years. It's just a matter of time before stuff like that happens, right? So, I mean, you can't really stress over those kind of goals when you're playing, because really it just gets you in a terrible mindset for the rest of it, and you don't really focus on what's at hand. Now, this game was a pretty big grudge match. It went back and forth for quite a bit. You know, I let him come back in early within the game. I really wish that I could have stopped him from scoring early. But really, the way that I like to play these games, especially when I'm getting a team that's not the great, or sorry, a team that's a lot better than my squad, is I like to put the pressure up high right away. I like to push the tempo. I like to really show them that, you know, I got the moves, I got the dangles, and I'm dangerous when I'm playing. And that's a big thing, because it shows them what you're capable of, and they get scared early. And that's huge to get your opponent scared of you when you're playing. Now, I know a lot of you guys, maybe if you guys have been playing NHL or not, but these are things that I know from experience, guys. I've been playing, as I said, for many years. I know the ins and outs of hockey, and I know the ins and outs of this game. Now, as I said, tempo is huge, and really bringing that tempo to start the game is absolutely massive, because you're going to get the guys off their own game. They're going to be thinking more about your own moves and not really going with the flow. Now, again, another goal that really shouldn't have went in. Turco made a bad play. He let it slip by him. There's not much I can do in these situations. It really comes down to the guys' overall attributes. Again, I can't blame too much of it on Turco, but it was a pretty weak goal. It went right through, and I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, you know what I mean? It was a very, you know what, it wasn't even Turco's fault, to be honest with you. I would probably lie that on the defense, to be quite honest. The defense just let him stand there and put that in, so there's not much really that you can do about that. So, I mean, his goalie, Price, was playing phenomenal this game. Didn't really let too much in that shouldn't have went in. But I mean, when I can get my lines open, when I can get the shooters that I know that can snipe, it's money. And we got a little bit of luck back with that goal. It was a beautiful tip. I was freaking out when I hit it, because I love hitting goals like that are just, you know, kind of random, with the beautiful celly at the end, just showing off. And it really comes down to just getting shots on net sometimes. When you're playing against uneven teams, get the shots on net, make them count, throw them on net. You know, good things are going to happen when you do that. And it's the same with anything. As long as you're going to take the shot and at least give a shot at trying, something is bound to happen. And really, That's when it comes down to when you're playing teams like this. You got to get the pucks on net. If you're not getting pucks on net, you're not getting scoring opportunities. You're not going to come away with the W. And it just was as simple as that. You know what I mean? You're just getting pucks on net. That play started because my actual D-man wanted to take a shot. I let the puck rip. And the rest of it, you know, just very nice, beautiful tip. He was in the right spot at the right time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So 3-3 going into the third period. Again, it's a very close game. And when I came into this period, I really wanted to show him that I can mean business in this game. So I dropped the gloves with him right away, and we went right at it here. And Ian White, you know, he's no slouch. I love dropping the mitts with Ian White, especially against Kovalchuk, and he dummies him, you know. I love Ian White. We're taking out his big guys. And another good thing as well, too, when you're playing Hut, if you see them trying to fight you with some bigger guys, take the fight. If you know that your player is not a better player than they are, take the fight. You're going to be getting one of their best players off the ice for a full 5 minutes, maybe even more depending on the whistle. Now, again, I just got off Kovalchuk off the ice for a pure 5 minutes, an amazing sniper. But so is Antropov, yo. Antropov burying G's, and as I said, confidence is everything with this. Confidence is where it's at. If you have confidence in your game, if you have confidence in your players, it's just that mindset. I don't know what it is, but it's been year after year. Confidence plays a huge thing. You go into a game thinking you're going to win. You go into a game with players that you know. You're going to come away with some beautiful goals and maybe even the W at the very end of it. So it came down real close. You know, all I had to do was just hold this lead, 4-3 at the moment, and it came down to him burying it with none other than Kovalchuk after he got knocked out. And it really, I mean, there was nothing much I could do. Obviously, I made a bad dump, and I think Kadri caught that midair. No, that was Datsuk. I threw Datsuk, and pretty much Kovalchuk just picks up the biscuit and buries it. And really, I can't do much about that. Turco, you know, he was expecting the shot from Datsuk, so again, that's the way it goes. Could have been a lot easier if I would have dumped it around the boards, and thinking back on it, I should have. But, I mean, we're going to take this into overtime. He has the wheels on me. He has the speed with his players. At this point, you know, everyone's getting tired, and it just comes down to playing positions. Unfortunately, Turco couldn't hold it for me, and Datsuk finally buries it. Captain of the team, you know, he holds it on his back. But I think for what we did, like, look at the players. Nash, Gretzky, Gabrick, you know, Phaneuf. Who else did he have? Carey Price. He had everybody possible. Gingla. It was just a matter of time before stuff like that went in. And really, I was very happy with the performance that I had in that game. I mean, really, we did lose, yes. It wasn't a full loss, so I will take the overtime loss, which is nice. It doesn't go against my actual loss tally. But going forward, though, we did learn quite a bit about the team, you know, as we were playing. And really, anything's possible. It really is. And I think with this squad that I'm running, I need to make a few tweaks on it. But there's not much I can do at that. It was a great game. Honestly, I sent this guy a message afterwards just saying amazing game, man, because really it was a solid game on both ends. We played an amazing defensive game, amazing offensive game. Nothing else that I can want about a game. So thank you guys very much for coming by. We're 6-1-1. Come on back for the next episode. It's your boy, the SLAP Train. I'm out. Peace.
Don't burn me down.